What are some of the ways that you think that people could add their faith into their sex life? Like, we're adding their sex life into their faith, but how do we add their faith into their sex life?
Well, I think going back to what you were saying about intimacy, about going deeper, having a deeper.
Yeah.
When people connect, more levels that people connect on in a partnership, the more intense that relationship will be. And so faith and spirituality could be one of those levels, and that people connect. And when that can, when the more points of connection and the deeper connection, the more intimacy there is, and the deeper that bond will be. And then that sexual intimacy and bond is what's the word? The word is escaping me. But anyways, it's magical.
We're going to go with maybe magic or elevated. Yeah, it's a whole new level, right? It's a new experience. It's not so base instinct.
And
we do have base instincts. We are animals, right? But we also have the ability to have faith, which is very cool.
So it's another level that people can connect on, that can create the deeper intimacy. Again, because sexual intimacy, let me backtrack, as sexual beings, it's not just about our genitals. It's about we are sexual beings in body and spirit. Okay, at least from certain traditions, there's the unity of the body and spirit. We are sexual beings, and we become united through our sexuality, through our genitals, that complementarity. In this case, we're talking about male and female. And so but when we connect again on all those different levels, and spirituality and faith being one of them, the relationship can become a lot deeper, and the intensity of the sexual intercourse can be so much more profound, mystical and magical.
Mystical and magical. So for those of you who are looking at that, if you're watching on video, if you're just listening to audio, so Matthew's showing like points of connection, right? Like, so through, you could have your fingers touching, right? You might have like your pinky fingers touching, but the other, your other fingers and your thumb are not touching. So you've only got one point of connection. And even to connect with somebody with that's a great starting place, but to add, for sure, adding different ways of connecting. And a lot of times, people can connect on, say, faith, and they can sort of connect on maybe hobbies. They might have some things in common that way. But they might not have the conversation where they can actually connect sexually or intimately, whether it's with intimate conversation or whatever it is their love language is, if they desire to have that expressed. If they can't connect that or express that, then that's lacking. And there can be other things lacking too. So looking at a relationship from a holistic point of view is actually what integrating your faith with sex is having a holistic approach to your sex life. And again, I'm all for all sex as long as it's consensual. So if you're not into having like sex that's, say, deeper and elevated, we like things all elevated and deeper, for sure. We're just going to be really clear on that direction. That's always good. And if we have that, then we're going to be able to have a different relationship than if you're just having physical connection. So, and sometimes through physical connection, you can develop a spiritual connection. People have actually had like mind-blowing experiences where they're like, I saw the lights and I saw like light, and like there's like things happening, and like my world opened up, and you're like, hey, cool, you just had a spiritual experience through sex. And people can actually have that, absolutely. And you can develop, there are methods you can develop in order to have that. It's not something that necessarily happens out of the blue. I suppose it could, miracles are possible, but generally it's something that you develop, right? It's a skill, just like, surprisingly, sex is a skill. We need to learn it.